Eli woke to the hum of the city beneath him, neon reflections bleeding across the rain-soaked streets, but something was different. Not the city, not the rain, him. A strange vibration thrummed in his chest, a pulse like the heartbeat of the world itself, resonating deep in places he didn't know existed. He tried to move, and the air shifted with him. Not wind, not displacement, something bending. The streetlights flickered unnaturally, curving around his presence. Eli's hands shot out instinctively, and with a pulse of thought, the metal street grate at his feet shivered, levitated, twisted like liquid. Holy! He stumbled back, barely catching his balance. A voice, deep, melodic, impossibly layered, echoed inside his mind. Eli, awaken. He froze. His pulse thundered, synapses firing in patterns that didn't belong in a human brain. He wasn't imagining it. The vibrations, the hum, the light bending, it was real. Something in him had shifted. Across town, Reuven felt a similar tremor. He'd been meditating in his tiny apartment, studying ancient glyphs in a worn Kabbalistic text, when the walls of his room dissolved into fractal patterns of light, words from the Sefer Yetzirah spinning in impossible loops around him. His hands lifted without conscious command, drawing glowing symbols mid-air, suspended, writhing like serpents of energy. Impossible, he whispered, yet his heart told him otherwise. Elsewhere, Moshe ran, fleeing the echoes of a confrontation he hadn't understood. A gang had cornered him, knives glinting. But before the first strike landed, his shadow separated, coiling around him like liquid, intercepting blades midair, striking with impossible precision. His chest heaved. He had always been fast. Now he was beyond fast. Faster than thought, faster than time. The city trembled under the birth of something new. Eli, Reuven, Moshe, their lives once ordinary, now folded into a singular pattern of power, destiny, and awakening. They were more than men. They were vessels, channels, living glyphs of forces humanity had only whispered about in fear and awe. Eli's thoughts swirled, words from Sefer Yetzirah and Zohar leaking into consciousness. Tiferet in action, Gevurah in restraint, Chesed in creation. He felt his heart as a cosmic lever, each emotion a potential spark to alter reality, each choice a conduit for forces too vast to measure. Reuven traced the glowing symbols in the air, chanting softly, in Sof, light unbounded. Awtsmoos manifests through me. Every syllable amplified his power. Walls warped, streets cracked, light fractured into impossible patterns. He realized he could not only perceive energy but shape it, mold it, bend it to holy intent. Moshe leapt from rooftop to rooftop, shadow trailing like living armor, aware of his body and consciousness in every possible iteration. Every strike he avoided, every blow he delivered, reverberated across multiple potential timelines simultaneously. He could see the consequences before they unfolded. They did not yet know one another, but the city had begun to recognize their emergence. Lights bent in anticipation. Rain followed patterns, carving symbols on glass. Shadows gathered, whispered, and parted in respect or fear. Something ancient stirred. Something older than the streets, older than the buildings, older than the stars themselves. The Awtsmoos, the infinite essence flowing through all reality, had noticed the ignition of its human conduits, and the city was about to become the proving ground. Eli's pulse quickened. He lifted his hands instinctively, shaping the flow of energy that thrummed in his chest. Light bent, twisted, coalescing into the first tangible manifestation of his power, a sphere of pure, radiant Tiferet, shimmering and alive. Reuven's symbols glowed hotter, responding to Eli's sphere across distance, their latent resonance acknowledging the shared pulse of destiny. Moshe crouched on the edge of a building, shadow coiling, ready to leap. He didn't understand it all yet, but the city whispered a single truth. You are more than what you knew. Awtsmoos flows through you. Awaken and shape what must be. The first confrontation was inevitable. The first revelation was coming. And in the pulsing heart of the city, the three would discover not only their powers, but the infinite responsibility, danger, and cosmic potential entwined with the blood, sweat, and spirit of human awakening. The rain fell harder. Lightning carved the sky, and the city trembled beneath the footsteps of men who were no longer merely men.